got time on our side. We're in a state of home. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Bree, and today's reading vlog is going to be a little bit different. I'm feeling like in a weird reading mood. I've been reading a lot of mystery, and I also was doing an experiment video, and I have I think 2 more experiment videos planned. It's hard for me to push myself to read something I'm not in the mood for because I'm just such a mood reader and it changes like day to day. So I thought I'm just gonna do this reading vlog where I just pick up whatever I'm feeling and not do it like an experiment reading. I call them reading vlogs, but it's more like an experiment video. And instead, like, just pick up whatever I want. So I have 2 books that I think I'm for sure gonna get to. So the first I've started, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. This is first in the Wayward Children series, which I'm sure you've heard a lot about. I just never picked it up because I just wasn't, I don't know, I just never gravitated towards it. And then I was at the library and I was like, you know what, this sounds really good. I do think I like a portal kind of fantasy. And I've read a lot of middle grades with like that kind of story. So 2 books I read last year and really, really loved. Actually, I think I read this one in January, but I read this last year, The We Free Men, and also The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. They both are kind of swept off to like these other lands, and they're very nonsensical and just like really fun stories, and I really enjoy reading them. Like Alice in Wonderland as well, like those kind of stories I do enjoy in a middle grade. And so this is just following the girls and boys who come back from those like other worlds and then having to like reacclimate to the world itself. I've been finding this really interesting so far. I'm 52 pages in and it's 170 pages, so I'm about halfway. So we're following this girl Nancy, and she has recently come back from a place called like the Hall of the Dead. That's it. And she's just like trying to reacclimate, and she's sent by her parents to this house, and she's just getting to meet all the other people who have previously been in like a fantasy world or another world and have come back here, and they're all like dealing with the fact that their home is in that other world but they're stuck here. Gives me a little bit of House of the Cerulean Sea vibes, where it's like a house with all these kind of different kind of people coming together and supporting one another. But this is definitely feels more adult in like the characters. Even though House of the Cerulean Sea is adult, the adults feel adult, but the kids felt like kids, where they feel more like they're teenagers or adults because they are in this. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm gonna pick this up. The library had the second one in there, so if I finish this and like really love it, I might go pick up the second. And then I've got Witch Hat Atelier number 3. This is volume 3. I read the first 2 earlier, I think last month and the month before that, and they didn't have the other ones after this. Someone is obviously reading at the same time as me, so I just picked up volume 3 and I'm excited to try to get through this. I'm really, really loving this manga series, so I'm excited to see where this goes, and it kind of left on a cliffhanger like the first one did, so that's something I really like about this. It just makes me want to like pick up the next one right away. I don't know where I'll go from there. I have a lot of options. I'll show you. My library can let you check out 60 books. 60 books at a time. So I got these, and then I have other ones that I checked out before. So I have a lot to choose from. I've got Yona of the Dawn, which I'm missing one of them, but I have the 4th volume as well. I think it's in my room. And then I've got still The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, which sounds like it could be good, like mystery kind of fantasy-esque book as like a middle ground for me. This one is a historical mystery that I've been wanting to read. This one is like a mystery, but it's with ghosts, and I've like been really wanting to read this. It's been on my TBR for a while. And then this one's like another historical fantasy, or historical mystery, but I think it's maybe funnier. I don't know. That cover intrigues me. So I have that, and then I also have my bookshelves to choose from. So we'll see what I end up reading, but for now I'm just going to start with those 2 and then let you know what I decide later. So it's a bit later now. I posted a blog post, got that done and everything, and took some pictures for it. So I'm happy with like getting all of that done. I'm actually gonna like continue reading this. I got to page 87 and I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like this is like giving me that escape I need. I feel like a murder mystery wouldn't really give me that, where this has got like the fantasy elements that are just like taking me out of the real world a little bit. And I think I might try to pick up a manga, though I don't know if I'll be able to focus. Like I really think I need a story that's like gonna just like fully suck me in. So I might start a different like fantasy story after this, because I feel like I'll finish this today. When I think I would checked in, I was like at page like 50-ish, and now I'm nearly to 100, and this took like a turn I was just like not expecting at all, just in the last like 10 pages, and I'm like really shocked at where this has gone, but I'm really enjoying it. This is just the kind of fantasy I've been needing, where it's like fantastical and obviously dealing with all these other worlds, but at the same time it's like not completely like a whole new world to get to know. And so it's kind of like fantasy light, if you will. And I think the length is going to be perfect for this kind of story, and I'm just really excited for this series because I feel like this will be a good one. I read a lot of like high fantasy, and since then I haven't been in the mood for that as much, and I think this is going to be like a good middle point for me, where it's just going to give me the fantasy elements I want without going overboard into it. This has been like a really comfort read, and yeah, I'm just really liking it. I really like the commentary. There's been a lot of powerful lines in here. I kind of like, I don't annotate books, but I kind of do. I think I will end up wanting to purchase this if I end up really loving it, which was so far it's like a 5-star for me, because I've been thinking in some of my favorite books I'd love to just like put the sticky notes near my favorite lines. Like that's all I want to do. I don't like highlighting or writing in the book, and no like shade to anyone who does that. I just personally don't like doing that, but I think I would like to just like sticky note where my favorite lines are, because that's one thing I always forget to go back to, is my favorite lines in books. There was just one line in here that just really stuck with me, and I want to highlight it. I want to sticky note it so I can remember. So I don't know. I think I might. What's today? The 24th. I don't know. I might go out and try to do something. It's really hot outside. It's like nearly 90, so it's not like the best to go out. Or I might just sit here and read and see if I can just get sucked into a fantasy world and forget about the real world for a little bit. So yeah, that's my check-in. I'm really enjoying this. I wish I had picked it up sooner, but now that I am, I know I'm gonna like binge the rest of the series. So yeah, that's my update. So it's a bit later now, and I finished Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, and I loved it. I'm giving it 5 stars. I don't know if this book would be 5 stars for everyone, just because the plot itself, I think there were some things that could have been maybe fleshed out a little more, but just based on like pure enjoyment and the way it made me feel, it was a 5 for me. So in a lot of ways it reminds me of The House in the Cerulean Sea, like I've said, which was one of my favorite books of last year, because it's about like not feeling like you fit in and not being accepted for who you are and the things you've been through and stuff. So like I really liked the conversations about that. I really like all the characters, and I enjoy a mystery element. I was not expecting that when I picked this up, but I really like the addition of it, and I definitely want to continue with the series. I like really want to pick up the next one, but my library's closed for there's like an event going on in town, so I can't really go to it, which is sad, because I almost picked up the second book, but I thought that I wouldn't get to it, so I didn't. So now I'm really upset. But I guess I could read it on ebook, but I just want the experience of holding it. But this is definitely a series I'm going to pick up and like own because I love it so much. So I'm really happy I read that. And that was like a great thing to like just take my mind off things. So now I'm trying to decide what I want to read. Because I don't want anything too like in depth, but I also don't think I want a mystery right now. I have the Atlas 6 I could read, which isn't too long. That's like a dark academia kind of. Then what else do I have? I could go middle grade, but I don't know if I'm really in the middle grade mood. This one might be interesting too. Okay, The Library of the Dead. When ghosts talk, she will listen. So maybe this, but it says it's like kind of a occult thriller. So I'm like, do I want a thriller? Let's see. What other options? Oh, I have one in my room. So I also have The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which sounds really interesting. So maybe I'll do that. And then, let me see. I also have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, but I'm not sure what I want to read. Let me set this down for a second. So I'll start with the ones I know less about. So I think Atlas 6 is about like people at a school and they have to compete. I don't know if I'm up for like a competing tournament right now, but maybe. Like I don't know if I want to go super, super dark, you know? And then this one I just know that it's like kind of horror-y and in Edinburgh and she could talk to the dead. I don't know, this one sounds good, but again, it might be too dark. This one's like about Frankenstein's wife. I think this one I don't want to do right now. The cover makes me think it's like fun, but I think I've heard that it is darker and it says it's disturbing, a beautiful tapestry of horror sewn together with the threads of madness, obsession, and murder. So maybe not right now. I feel like I keep gravitating towards The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. Maybe I'm gonna read the first chapter of this one and the first chapter of The Library of the Dead and see which one's pulling me in more, and then I will choose which one I do. I think these are gonna be too dark for me, so I think I'm gonna put those back. But yeah, let me read the first chapter of each and then see. And then I might add some manga in there, but I'm just not feeling manga right at the moment. Okay, so I did not get through the first chapter of this, but I had read a page of this, and I read a page of that one, and I can already tell I think I'm leaning towards this one. I think this is the one that I wanted, but I was just unsure because, which is dumb, but it's length of 400 pages. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start this, and yeah, I'll check back in later. I don't know if I'm going to start it right this second, but this will probably be the next book I pick up. Good morning. It is now Monday. I was at my parents' for most of Saturday, and then Saturday night and Sunday day, I had a flare-up of my chronic illness, so I just did not record at all. But I did read 142 pages of The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodore Goss. I'm loving this. So far, both of these books have been wins for me in this reading vlog. I just there's something about it I just love so much. I think it includes a lot of things that I really appreciate in books. So it's following Mary, who is the daughter of Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll from Jekyll and Hyde, and her mother has just passed and she's inherited the house, but they have no money left, and she ends up getting a thing from her solicitor saying that her mother's has a separate account that she's been paying for a hide at this monastery. is it a monastery if it's for nuns? I'm not sure. I think it's still a monastery. But she goes to like investigate and things come out and she's starting to unravel this mystery. And there is multiple girls in this story that are daughters of famous doctors like Frankenstein, Moreau. And so she, like, I think they're getting into a bigger mystery, but when she finds out that there's this money for paying for Hyde, she ends up going to Sherlock Holmes and Watson to help figure it out. So they're also a part of the story. And so it's just bringing in like that Sherlock Holmes story that I love with this idea of like daughters of these crazed scientists, and all of that combined is so great. Like, it's a mystery, but there's like these kind of fantastical elements to it through that. And then also the author writes it. I think it's supposed to be Charlotte Moreau who's writing the story, but she has like, they have parts in there where the like, I don't know if that'll focus. Yeah, right here where like the characters of the story are like interjecting because they're supposed to be reading the manuscript while she's like, when she wrote it. And so they're like interjecting their opinions of like, that's not what I said or whatever. The author put like an author's note saying that she's just going to leave it in there because it gives you a look into the character. So for some, I think that could be annoying, but I love it. You really get to know the characters a bit more, and it's just a fun element to it. And the mystery itself I'm interested in. I think that it's a trilogy, so I think that this will probably be like maybe leading up to a lot more. I love the characters. I love that, like, those interjections, and yeah, I'm just having like a really great time with it. I've been telling myself that from the library, I just want to check out more books from the library and then read them and then decide if I want to buy them, because I've been buying books before I read them and then they're not always wins. And so this way I can still get that like book buying feel and like have a collection like I really love, but hopefully more books that I just truly love. But then of course, like, when I make this decision, the first like two I'm like love so much, so I'm like, I'm gonna end up having to buy them because already this is a 5-star for me and I'm only on page 142. So I think it's one of those situations too where like I'm just having a good time reading. I'm not analyzing it at all. Those two books I just flew through without like nitpicking things. I just was immersed in the story, and I think that that's what I love about this too, is like I'm already just so immersed in the story and connected to the characters. So yeah, I think that this could be one of those books that I say like defines my reading taste, because so far it is like 100% a win for me. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I will come back when I have more read and more to show you. Hello, it is much later in the day now, and I have done no reading, but I edited a video and filmed too, so got some stuff done, and I just got my little belly baby here, and I think I'm going to curl up and read. The windows have been open all day, and that's been super nice, so I'm going to open that one up, and then just see what I can read. I'm feeling really tired, but I tried taking a shower, and that didn't wake me up at all, so we'll see how much reading I actually get done, but I'm hoping a lot because I'm really enjoying the book. I just need to get in the zone.
You'll be the last one I think about. We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. Honey, you are my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise, that with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise, that with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about, the last one I think about.
Hello, and it's the next day. So I have some stuff to show you and then also just some updates. So first update is I am now at page 225. So I have little less than half, because it's like 400 pages, I believe, left in the book. So I think I'm going to try to read a lot today and hopefully finish it, because I'm just loving this. Like, I don't really have any updates of like plot wise. I feel like we're starting to get to the plot. It's not very, right now it hasn't been super like mystery heavy. Like, there's definitely a mystery element, but I feel like it's being used to introduce all the characters that you are going to be like with throughout this trilogy. But I'm just loving it. I think the dynamic is so fun. I love the characters. I'm like really interested to see where this mystery goes. And I love the little interjection. So like, I'm just here for the ride. So that's that update. I also, while I was driving, just finished Doom and Broom by Annabelle Chase. It's the second in the Spellbound mystery series. I had listened to the first one on my Charleston vacation, and this one follows the same thing, but there is a wolf, or a werewolf that dies, and she believes that it wasn't exactly how it seems. And I enjoyed it. I think, sorry, camera died. So I think it's like a 3-star series for me. It's just one of those like fun, you don't have to take it too seriously kind of mysteries. It's a paranormal cozy mystery. And yeah, it's just exactly how it says. Like, I think it's perfect for car rides. That's when I've been listening to it. Or I've been growing some herbs and stuff this year, and I'll dehydrate them and stuff like that. So when I've been doing like kind of that kind of prep, it's very mindless. So I can listen and do that. I really struggle if I have to do any kind of task that involves any form of thinking. Like, I even struggle with cleaning and doing it. So it needs to be like driving, or like that, where I'm just like picking apart stems and like prepping food, basically. I'm trying to find other areas that I might be able to listen to audiobooks, because I want to like be able to. It's just like I have to be really like able to really focus on the audiobook, or I hear nothing. Like, it just does not process in my head. So Kaladin, are you serious right now? He's stealing bookmarks all the time. I find them all over my floor because he's been taking them. It's like, literally, I find them. There's one on the ground over here. So I gotta move them. But they're so convenient having them there. But he figured out how to move the letter. Anyway, so yeah, I finished that, and I definitely will like listen to the next one. I think the next one's called Spells Bells. So I went to Barnes & Noble for 2 things in mind. So start with, this just came out today and I wanted to pick it up, so I went to pick up. It's the second in the Harlem Renaissance series. So I read Dead Girls earlier this year and really liked it. I gave it, I think, 3.5 stars. I think that there is a lot that I liked of this, and I'm hoping to see it improve as the series goes on. So this is the second one, and it's just gonna be another mystery with Louise and her partner Rosa Marie, and then Rosa Marie's brother are all like involved, kind of, I think. And yeah, I really like it. She's a young queer black woman in Harlem, 1920s. I'll be picking this one up really soon. So this one came out today. It's June 28th. So I went and picked that up, and I'm really happy to have that because I'm already loving this series. I just had to. So I picked up this so I can have my own copy. So then I ended up getting the second and the third, because I also looked for these secondhand, and the cost of them secondhand were going to be the same as them new with the Barnes & Noble discount. So I just went and picked them up because I would have to still get things shipped, and this was like I was already going there. So I picked them up. So I have the whole series now, which I'm really excited about. Really don't want to ruin these copies, so I may just like pick the library ones up too and read those ones because no one's checking them out. I've gone like a couple weeks and they're still sitting there. So I might do that. But I'm just really happy. I think this series is a series that I can already tell, even if the mystery wasn't as good, like the characters in the world, I just want to be in it, and I'm all about those kind of series. Yeah, so I got those 4 books, and I'm happy that I kind of reeled myself in. Kind of didn't, but they were purposeful purchases is what I'm telling myself. So yeah, that's my update. So I finished The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, and I really, really, really liked it. So I feel like I'm conflicted because on the one hand, the experience and the whole thing was just definitely a book that was for me. So like experience is like 5 stars. I think objectively the plot is not 5 stars, but I didn't even care. Like that's how good of a time I had with these characters. So I feel like I should give it like a 4.5, but like it's kind of a 5 in my heart, you know? I connected so much with the characters, and I just feel like I'm a sucker for like found family tropes because I was thinking about it and I was like, I just read this in this reading vlog, love this. This is definitely like a found family vibe. House in the Cerulean Sea is one of my favorite books, and that's a found family vibe. One I don't really talk about too much on my channel because I read it before was The Lies of Locke Lamora, that series. It's about like thieves, but there's found family in that because they're orphans. And I'm just thinking like of all the different ones that I tend to love. I guess even like Murder on Black Swan Lane, the Rexford and Sloane series, there's an element of found family in that as well that I just love. And then I also just love all of the different women in this. And I think some of the critiques I saw from Goodreads and stuff was that it wasn't like as historically accurate or like as accurate to the original stories of like Jekyll and Hyde, Frankenstein, those things. But like I did not care about that at all. I think that it was so fun to have these like interjections from the characters in here. I think for some that could be like annoying and take away from the story, but for me I just think it added so much to getting to know these characters, and some of them you're like meeting through that dialogue. I liked that Sherlock and Holmes were there. I thought the mystery was like, I enjoyed like going around to try to figure out the like what was happening, even though you kind of knew for a lot of it like what was happening. That's why I say like the mystery itself was not a 5-star. It would probably be more of a 3-star if I was just reading like the mystery side of things. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't care about that at all. I just wanted to be with these characters in this world solving this mystery, and I can't wait to get to the rest of the series. Just feel like sometimes there's books where it's like, I wouldn't recommend everyone read this because I don't think that everyone would enjoy it the way I do, but there's just something about this book that was like hitting all the things I love. Historical mystery elements, there's found family, there's these like monstrous women, and like realizing their own power and how they can just like be independent women. And yeah, there's so much to love in here for me that I think it's going to be a new favorite series. I guess I'm going with a 4.55. I don't know, because I want to be objective, but I also don't because I just loved it so much. So I read 2 books this week that I just absolutely loved, like going to continue. I ordered this one because I had to own it as well. So, you know, not buying books, not going the best for me, but at least it's like books that I know I gave 5 stars to, I really love. So can't wait to have this one in my collection. So yeah, that is the end of the reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm so like happy with this reading vlog. I feel like this was probably the best one reading wise I've had in a long time because I got 2 new favorite series out of it, and while I'm supposed to be finishing series, I did start 2 that I get to add to the list, but I'm just so happy that I loved them. So if you want to leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite series is, I would love to hear it. And yeah, I will see you next time.